Hi guys, welcome back to Hair Dry Treatment. Ladies in Red is back. I'm absolutely buzzing to get started on this show. Feels like forever since we've seen United play, but obviously they're back tomorrow night and we're all going to predict that one and give a bit of a preview for the game against Saints. But firstly, this is the first chance we've had to talk about the Villa game and what went on there. So we're going to give a little bit of a recap. Now, obviously, we got all 3 points, which was the main thing. But I'll start with you, Meg. What did you think about the performance of the night against Villa?
I don't know if he's in the chat yet, but Doug messaged me before the game, and he was like, "What do you think?" And I got this nervous feeling that at some point we will slip up. But Villa are fighting for their lives, obviously, and I just thought that Villa would make it really difficult, and they came out for that first 20 minutes and made it really difficult for that. Just before the drink, that first quarter before the drinks break, made it really difficult. They played really well and potentially could have got something out that first 20 minutes. But I was a little bit nervous going into it, and then that first 20 minutes didn't settle any nerves for me. But on a whole, obviously, another clean sheet, which I'm absolutely buzzing about. I know we've scored plenty of goals at the moment, but clean sheets are so important. So I love the fact that we got a clean sheet, and just the way the goals went in. I think, yes, we got another penalty, but the other two goals, I loved it. Absolutely loved seeing them go in. So on a whole, yeah, okay, it wasn't probably the 10 out of 10 performance, but I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Massive thanks to Ryan for the super chat. Really do appreciate that, and nice start to the show. So thank you very much. But yeah, Meg, I agree with you. I thought we got off to a bit of a slow start, but then obviously eventually I thought we grew into the game. I just want to say, Star is perfectly fine for the people concerned in the chat. She's just got a lot of work to do with regards to Salford today that she needs to get done. And I said it's fine. She's coming back on for the next show, so don't worry. She's perfectly fine and well, and she's going to try and tune in hopefully at some point. But yeah, she's just working. That's all it is. Nicole, what did you think about the Villa game?
Like Meg said, the first quarter, it was like, I don't know, we just seemed slow, and I'm thinking, oh no, please don't do this again. Please do not do this to me again. And then after that, it went from being that we were slow to it just being like a walk in the park for us, really. Obviously, there was talk about the penalty, and whatever anyone thinks, these things happen, and Villa should know all about them and all about these weird decisions, even more, should I say. But it's the 3 points. It was also Ole became the first Premier League manager to get 4 consecutive wins with 3 or more goals, which is always good. Positive records for a change, as opposed to other records that we got post-Fergie. And obviously Pogba getting involved, Rashford very close to getting a goal. And what proper made me crease as well, the result, of course, is the most important thing, but Martial's face, just give me life, because that is literally my kids when I tell them to go to bed, or me when I'm in a mood. I love it because it shows that he's hungry. It shows that it doesn't matter how well we're doing. The manager said it, Pogba said it, we're not where we need to be yet. We need to keep going, and he wants to be part of that. So I have every time in the world for Martial smiling, but I also have every time in the world for him when he's fuming.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot about that. It seems like ages ago since we played, but yeah, Martial coming off, like you say, obviously he was gutted he didn't score. Thought he played really well as well, to be honest, against Villa. But that's what you want to see from his striker. He's not satisfied. Of course, he's grateful that we've got the win, but he always wants to score, and there's a bit of competition between him and Rashford as well, which I think is only healthy for our front line. But Emma, were you satisfied with the performance against Villa?
Yeah, like you girls said, we was a bit slow at the start, but by the 20-25 minutes we controlled the game. Bruno, I didn't think had his best game, but even without his best performance, he still got the job done and he still looked amazing. Pogba was the unsung hero, I think, of the game. He kind of pulled the strings there, got the job done. I think that new position of him going a bit deeper to let Bruno do what he's got to do, it works, and I really like seeing that. Martial, like you said, I seen a few tweets saying that he was lazy, and I was like, what game are you watching? He was so far deep, and then you see him track all the way back, receive a pass, and then shoot. I was like, his work rate was off the charts. It was absolutely amazing, and I think you have to give Ollie credit for that as well, though, because I think Martial's come on a lot more. So I think we've got to give Ollie credit there.
Yeah, you're right. I think it was the second goal, wasn't it, where Martial nicked the ball back. And I think all game he was doing that. It was a bit of a handful for their back line. And like I said, I thought Martial played really well, and I love the fact he was gutted to come off, but I'm also grateful for the fact that he's took him off while he's still fit, and hopefully he'll bang a few in against Southampton tomorrow. We scored against them in the past. Hopefully he can do it again. Yes, Meg?
On that Martial point, I put a tweet out about it, and I like seeing it. I like the fact that he was annoyed to come off, and I think his main priority on the pitch is to score a goal. He is a striker. That is his well, obviously it's a team collective to score goals, but it's not just his job, but it's his main priority on the pitch to do that. And if he doesn't do that, perhaps, his contribution to the overall win, he might feel that he actually hasn't contributed to it. And I see a lot of people saying, oh, well, Bruno doesn't throw a strop when he come off. And I think, well, he's probably felt he's come off and he feels like he has contributed to that win. Like, he's got a goal.
Got an assist.
Pogba is with the assist as well. So I think Martial is obviously wound himself up because he potentially hasn't felt that contribution to the team. And I think it was really harsh. I saw some really harsh comments about people saying, like, he threw his toys out the pram and he shouldn't act like that. There's like 11 other players on the pitch and all that negativity, and I just thought that was really bang out of order. For me, it's definitely passion. I don't know what anyone else perhaps thinks in the chat.
Can I just say, Meg, I'd rather him be like that than be like Gareth Bale with a mask over his face.
Or I'm going to sleep on the bench. Hilarious.
The thing is, though, for me, he didn't throw his toys at the pram. Like, yeah, he showed that he was unhappy with coming off, but he still shook Ollie's hand at the end of it, and that's the way that it should be. Ollie will want his forward to not be happy to come off, especially if they haven't scored. Like, I get that. And I think Martial is obviously professional and he understands why he's come off. It's just, it doesn't make it any easier. Like you say, Meg, he feels like he hasn't contributed to it. But I was all for seeing that. Like I say, yeah, he had a bit of a moan, but he shook his hand as he come off the pitch, and that's it. The line is drawn, isn't it? And I think he moved forward from there. I don't think it was unprofessional what he did. It wasn't like he threw his shirt on the floor like we saw Xhaka do in the past or wherever it was. It was just simply just showing that he didn't want to come off. But who does want to come off? When you're playing the way United are playing at the minute, scoring goals, we could have scored 5, 6, 7 against Villa, let's face it, in the end. And that's obviously what Martial was thinking. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The thing is with him, he had his best game without scoring as well. And I think probably that's what his frustration is, because he was playing so well and he just wanted to score as well as getting assists. So I think that was kind of his frustration.
Yeah, I think he was just showing that, look, I've been playing well and I'm gutted not to score, but every striker would be gutted, and I think fair enough. I just want to say a massive thank you to Alex for the super chat. It says, hi ladies, a great result against Villa, but we must follow it up with another win tomorrow, especially now as Chelsea have obviously dropped points, hoping that Leicester may drop some points as well against Bournemouth. That's another thing that we're praying for. But yeah, in terms of the race for top 4, I mean, I've called the video top 4 is in our hands. It very much is, isn't it? I mean, it's okay us celebrating other teams dropping points, but I don't know about you guys, I am a bit anxious about the Southampton game tomorrow, because Southampton, I think I haven't been doing too bad lately. Ings obviously has been banging in goals for them. It's not going to be an easy game, is it, Meg?
No, and I think I seen them play the other day, and they do like to go out and press. They will put pressure on, teams at the moment really like playing out from the back. Southampton will go and put pressure on your defenders if you're going to try and play out. We just got to make sure that we don't play ourselves into trouble. I feel like United at the moment have got a clear mentality of get the job done. Go out and secure the points, get those goals in, and then we can start subs and not almost like taking our foot off the gas, but just relaxing. And I feel like we need that mentality going into the Southampton game. We need to ensure that we are going out drilled to go and get those points. Because I don't think Southampton are a bad team, but like you said, it's in our hands. We win the next 4 games, we finish 3rd, and that's what we haven't got to worry about what anyone else is doing. We win our games, we finish 3rd in the league, and our whole mind's up. And I didn't think we would ever get 3rd this season.
I did.
Yeah. I remember saying it as well.
All you lot put 3rd. I was adamant that we probably wouldn't. I'm surprised at Chelsea and their last 2 results. Really surprised. Surprised that Leicester haven't come out fighting a bit more. So yeah, we win the next 4 games and we focus on us. Like I said, we go out and get those points. Secure the win early doors. We're 3rd. It's just all of us.
Doug, who, as we know, is our font of knowledge on this channel, he has just said that Southampton are 10 unbeaten away from home. So that tells you everything you need to know about this fixture. We cannot go into this fixture complacent, can we, Nicole?
No, and they've also got a good record against us at Old Trafford recently. I think in the last 6 league games, they've won 2 and drew 2. So again, like I I keep saying it, but I think it's even more apparent for tomorrow, is we need to treat every game with respect, I think, and I think Ole will as well, to put our strongest 11 out again, put the game to bed, and then when it's done, then take your strongest players off and keep them fit. Do you know what I mean? I just think now more than ever, we've seen so many times, and it gets boring to keep repeating it, but we've seen United have the opportunity, I have it, now you're all right. We've seen it so many times. But this team, I really believe that something's turned, something's changed, and we've now got that mentality of, no, we're going to use every opportunity that we can, and hopefully we continue the scoring 3 or more goals and get a win.
I agree. I'm not laughing at you, Nicole. I was laughing firstly at Meg sneezing again on stream. Like,
I'm muted it this time. I got there in time to mute it.
And then Carl did a little dab in the background for you guys who didn't notice that.
Carl.
Yeah, Carl did a little dab. He's got to try and get in it, hasn't he? Stop calling men in red. It's ladies in red, Carl. Come on.
Do his makeup again, Em.
In a wig.
Yeah. But yeah, Southampton, I genuinely think like this is a bit of a dodgy game because we've had a run of good results, of course we have, but Chelsea should be a lesson to us. That what's happened with Chelsea that you say, Meg, even with Wolves as well, quite a few unexpected results. And you can't help but think maybe they've gone into that game underestimating the opposition, and in the Premier League, we know that he can't do that. But I do think that Hasenhüttl is doing a decent job at Southampton. Like I say, Danny Ings is banging in goals. We haven't been the most convincing at the back because I think we are trying this playing out from the back where we are taking risks, and I like that. But obviously, we know that sometimes that does put yourselves on the back foot a little bit. So I think we've got to be really careful about how we approach it. But I completely agree. I think Ole needs to put his strongest team out from the start again and then bring players off afterwards. Once we've got the goals behind us, then take the starting 11 off, like the main players. What do you think about that, Em?
I totally agree. I think Southampton's not a team to underestimate. Like Doug said, they've got a good away record. Their last 5 games since coming back, they've had good results. They've won 3, lost 1, and drawn 1. They beat City 1-0 the other day. You know, that's a really good result for them. So yeah, we can't take them lightly. Starting lineup as well, I think will be exactly the same. It'll be unchanged. If there is a change, I probably think it would be Lindelof only because of his back injury, and he might put Bailly in there. But other than that, I don't think there would be a change, and I don't think he should change. Because there's 3 games this week, I think he probably would change a team Thursday against Palace and maybe play some players that give him some game time and then rest our strongest side for Chelsea game. So I think that would be the changes midweek, but not for Southampton. Yeah,
George just said that good news, Southampton and Palace are on the beach. And I think in the grand scheme of things, they probably are. They haven't got a lot to play for. And they're obviously the safe next season, not going to get Europe. But the one thing I will say is that regardless whether a team is on the beach or not, I think when Manchester United are in town or if a team is coming to Old Trafford to play Manchester United, it's like a cup final. Like we know immediately, like Burnley goalkeepers just turn into superheroes. Like we know what happens. It's just ridiculous what happens. But when you play against Manchester United, I think form kind of goes out the window because know that players are going to play for the lives of the opposition. And I think that's the feeling I've got about this Southampton one. I feel like, yeah, they haven't got much to play for, but Danny Ings is close to getting top scorer. He's going to want to score again. And I think that we've got to make sure we're secure at the back. And like I say, if I was Ollie, I'll be starting with the same lineup like we've said, and then I'll be taking the key players off afterwards. But Southampton, you guys have said that you expect them to press quite high. If they do that, do you think that it might be worth Dan James getting a look in for this one, or would you be sticking with Greenwood again? And I'm saying this because Greenwood is young, and you've said we've got Palace coming up obviously after that, and then you've got Chelsea coming up. Mason Greenwood, for me, he's got to start at the moment. He's one of the first names on the team sheet. Would you do the same, Nicole? Would you start Greenwood or would you start James?
I'm completely with you. I think, like I said last week, for me, there's just no dropping Greenwood at the moment. As much as I've praised James in the past, and I think he should have his opportunities, I think he could come into play literally for like Europa League games, and obviously when we were saying before when the games have been put to bed. But I think this is Greenwood's moment, and he should just revel in it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, one of the topics we were going to talk about was Mason Greenwood and how good we think he can actually get. Now, obviously, he's progressing at a rapid rate. I've said openly on here that I'm trying my hardest not to get sucked in, but the more I see him play, the more he's impressing me, and it's hard not to. But Meg, I'll start with you. How good do you think this kid can be?
I mean, the world's his oyster. I hope that's the right saying. If not, I'm going to look extremely silly. I've said that, and I've said that with confidence as well. And then I was like, oh my goodness.
I'm sure it is.
It is. Yeah.
I'm going to roll with it again and say the world is his oyster. Like, he has got the potential to go on and be, well, even better than he already is. Like, he can be one of the greatest, in my opinion. Here's the fact that he can finish with both feet at such a young age. He drives at players. You can see him taking on players. Do you know what it is as well with me? I feel like he shoots on sight. So if you see the goal, he has a go. And I think that's really important, to have the confidence to do that and not be worried about what might happen. Okay, if it goes out for a goal kick, if it goes miles off target, whatever. But he actually still has the confidence to take on a player and then have and get his shot away. He takes his chance, not only in front of goal but on the pitch as well. When he's got the chance to play, he's coming on or he's starting, and if he's starting, you feel like you can't take him off because he's doing so well. But yeah, I know what you say, Sophie. You don't want to get too. We do this thing with English players, don't we? Young English players. We're like, he's going to be incredible, and then it declines. I don't see it with him. I feel like hopefully we can use him and get the best out of him for many years to come.
Yeah, I agree, and I think with Greenwood as well, it's the nature of the goals he scores. Like, all his goals are different for one. Like you say, he's such clinical on his left or his right foot. He can do either. But with him, like when we're struggling, when we look a bit flat, he seems to come up with the goods. When we need a big goal to change the game, Greenwood is more than likely.
That's what he did the last fixture.
Yeah, it just changes the game, doesn't it, Nicole?
Yeah, just absolutely. I think that's what I just said. I was just saying what to do, and I was like, "Oh, good night." That's all I could say because he's 18. I keep saying it, but he's 18. But I think it's the only other players that have scored the same or more than him in one season. That's a teenager at United is Wayne Rooney, who I think is very reminiscent of. This was the last time I've been this excited. I think Wayne Rooney, and then George Best and Brian Kidd. And that is good company to be in. And I do just want to go, he's all right, and I don't want to get overhyped, but really, how can you not? And then there is that worry now of like, our other team's gonna come in for him. But then I've been reading stories about him, and one of his old neighbours said as a kid, he always had a football under his arm, and if he didn't have his uniform on, he'd always have his United top on, and that just absolutely melts me because he's living his dream and is doing it brilliantly. He's got so much potential. It's frightening.
Yeah, Andy said there, I think it's a good point, Emma. He said he doesn't look like he's got an ego, and Amy said it as well. If he stays level-headed, he's only going to get better. Does he strike you as that kind of humble guy, Greenwood? That's why I want to say grounded, because I think in his mindset, he seems very grounded, very switched on, and mature for his age, doesn't he?
Is that directed to me?
Yeah, go on, Em. Sorry.
No, he is. I read that, like, if he plays a game, like, he'll go out and play football with his mates as well. Like, he's still that kind of like every other teenager that just wants to go out and play football with his mates as well. But not the fact that he plays for Manchester United. He just goes down the field and plays with his mates as well. So I think he will stay grounded. He will stay level-headed. I mean, I think he's going to get in the England squad. I mean, like, he's got to, hasn't he? I don't want.
They said he was ready.
We don't want to put the pressure or the hype on him and have that on his shoulders as well. But at the same time, I can see him getting into the England squad. His talent is just going to go so far. It just excites me.
Yeah, and that Rahul said there, obviously over lockdown he put on a lot of muscle as well, and that seems to be paying off for him physically. He seems better, doesn't he? Meg, Mason Greenwood for England, what do you think?
I wouldn't be shocked if he made it at all. I probably also wouldn't be too shocked if he didn't. Because I just think the system in England with picking players has been all over the place. Sometimes look at Theo Walcott when he was young, and we took him and it just didn't work out. And we haven't picked the younger stars or icons. We've gone with other players. So I wouldn't be surprised if he made it though, because on merit he deserves to probably be in there with the form that he's in at the moment. but I also wouldn't be shocked if I didn't see him in the full England team and they keep him in the age categories for now. But his form says you pick him.
Yeah.
So again, a good headache to have, isn't it? I don't know what they'll do, but if he continues, I mean, I would, but I'm not England manager.
True. Brady, thank you so much for the super chat. We really do appreciate it. It does mean a lot, so thank you for that. In terms of England, though, you've got to get excited. Obviously, you've got Greenwood coming through the ranks, but you've also got players like Mount who's playing a lot. I've seen someone just mention him in the chat. Hudson-Odoi is another one. Sancho, of course. Foden at City, who I think is a baller, by the way. I think he's such a talented player. I mean, you're looking at the England squad for the future. It is exciting, isn't it? It's just whether these players develop. Obviously, you have to sadly think about injuries as well, because we know if young players get injured, quite often that can disrupt their career. And hopefully that doesn't happen with any of the players we've just mentioned. Max Allen is another one that Andrew's just mentioned. We've got a lot of young English players coming through the ranks now who, it's making it exciting, isn't it? But we're going to switch it back up and talk about the Europa League. Obviously, the draw was the other day. Firstly, how confident are you feeling? A lot of people are saying that's an easy final for us. We're going to breeze through to that one. Is it really that simple, Nicole? Obviously, if we beat Lask, then I believe it's Copenhagen or Istanbul. We've got Wolves. If they beat Olympiacos, they get Sevilla or Roma. So we could possibly get Wolves in the semi-final. What's the prospect of that? How does that make you feel?
Buzzing. But when that question, then when you said people are saying it's going to be easy, the answer is it should be. You're absolutely right. It should be easy, but like I keep saying, it's not always that simple. There's always some. Hopefully, there isn't for us, but there's sometimes a banana skin that you slip up on, and we just have to be mindful of that. But I can't lie. I've got this little buzz inside of me where everything just seems to be coming together. And I said to you, we should be going for everything. And now it feels like we actually are, and we actually have the potential. Like there's getting into Europe, Champions League, but then there's actually having a team where you believe they could win it. And that's where I think we get into, as opposed to the past few years. Even if we was in it, did I think we could win it? Honestly, no. Whereas now I believe that we can. And on paper, we'll smash it. But let's just hold our horses and wait and see.
I agree. Thank you so much to Alex for the super chat. He says he's on about Greenwood here. If he stays grounded and mature as a player, Greenwood has the world at his feet. He just needs to not make the same mistakes as Ravel Morrison. Obviously, another positive player. He was overhyped by the looks of it. Now he was so talented, but obviously it never transpired for him in his career. Sadly, obviously we don't agree with that, but I just don't get the feeling that Greenwood is going to do that. To be honest with you, I don't feel like Greenwood. He's not going to live up to expectations. But like I'm saying, I'm trying not to get too sucked in. But Meg, Europa League, how confident would you say you're feeling about that? And Abdul's just said there, Chelsea could be playing in Europa League next season, and they've signed Werner, Ziyech. That's going to be a bit embarrassing for them, isn't it?
Yeah, there's still plenty of good teams in the Europa League, and I think although obviously United fans, we are so happy with where our club is going at the moment in terms of the way that we're playing, performance-wise, everything. But you do look at the Europa League and say there are good teams in there that, like Nicole said, you don't want a banana skin lying on the floor. We don't want to fall flat on our face. Lask is pretty. We'll go through on that. The Copenhagen Istanbul game. On paper, you're saying, well, at the moment, United all day. So you just don't want to fall flat on your face. I think, obviously, we'll know where we stand in the league by the time we come to the Europa League games. So I think if we continue over the next 4 games and we roll with this momentum that we've got, who is going to stop us? That's what in my head I am thinking. Like, which team is it going to take to stop Manchester United? Because right now, the way that we are playing, I actually don't know. I look at the teams in the Europa League and I think, they are good teams. Finals are completely different. I just think when you get to that final, it's on the day, because it's only it's one game. That's it, done, dusted. It's 90 minutes. And we always say about it's whoever turns up. It's not just about form. It's whoever can hold their bottle on a big day. But I think we could go all the way in the Europa League.
Yeah.
I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not
going
to be like, we will, but I think we can do.
I think the turn comes in when we know we've got a lot of games in a short period of time. which is why I'm saying start with the first 11, obviously the strongest 11, and then get them off. The second the game is won and we've done enough, get them off and preserve those players, because I think if you don't rotate as a team, that's where the problems come, because the last thing that you need is injuries, isn't it? So I think if all players are fit, I'm like you, I feel really confident that we can win it. I just get worried about the congestion and the amount of fixtures we've got, along with obviously the FA Cup and what's going on as well. So I think that's the only doubt that I have in my head. But in terms of quality, Emma, do you think that we've got enough to win the Europa League with the draw that's just been announced?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, if you look at it, if like we get Wolves, I'm just a bit like, our track record against Wolves hasn't been great. So it's kind of one of those games that it could go either way. So that's got me a bit. But what's interesting, Meg touched on it, is when we play these games, we're going to know where we are if we've made top 4 in that. It's going to be interesting to see what Ollie does. Will he stick with the strongest team, or will he kind of change it up a bit? That's what's going to be interesting to look at. Yeah,
because obviously you're talking about if we're already guaranteed to get Champions League next season.
Yeah.
Is Europa League going to be a serious competition that we need to win? But I think as Manchester United, and I'm sure most of us agree that if there's a competition, a trophy up for grabs, we've got to try and win it, haven't we? We've got to try and win it. And I think, I agree, maybe we'll rotate a little bit, but I don't doubt that we're not going to take the competition seriously. I think we are like any other competition we're in, and I think that's the way that it should be. And I know, Meg, you said that before. If we're in a competition, we go in it to win it.
Yeah.
So like any game, you're in it to win it. You don't mess about. We're not throwing chances down the drain. But I don't know if anyone knows about like when the next season's going to start as well. So you're trying to look at this fixture list that they've got and the Europa League, and then like trying to fit in the next looking to the next season as well. But for me, you go out, you go to that Europa League knockout tournament that they're going to have now, and you're going to go and win it. That's what you have to. That's what mentally. That's how you prepare. But I'm not sure. So I wait to see how we finish the Premier League. Because this as well with like the momentum and stuff. I think because you've got games like quick amount of games, quick turnaround between games, it's so easy to like roll with the momentum. But if we do lose one coming towards the end of the Prem, that can also spiral as well, because you've got to switch it up and get through the next game. Like you look at City having lost the away games, 3 in a row? Chelsea, a couple of games. Leicester, they've like as much as we are spiraling and winning, other teams, you can see how much they come crashing down.
That's it. Like one whole team of momentum. Like we know all these teams are fighting obviously for Europe. A bit the same at the bottom is what happened with Villa today. There are going to be unexpected results, and I'm just hoping that we're not on the other end of one of the unexpected results. We've seen it already happen, and I'm sure it'll happen again. I'm just hoping that we're not one to suffer, which is why I'm saying we've got to take every game one game at a time and take everybody seriously, regardless of where they are in the table or whether they're on the beach in their minds. Like Manchester United is a cup final, and we know that, and so we've got to be prepared for it. And I'm sure Ollie will be saying this to the players. And like Nicole says, it feels like everything is slotted into place at the minute. I'm feeling really positive, and I'm going to take that into the predictions for the Southampton game. Now, we've already said that we'd be going with the same lineup, and I'm guessing that we're all agreed on that. Nicole, would you go with the same 11?
100%. Like I said before, stick to the best, and then once it's done, fingers crossed, then you make a few changes.
I completely agree with that. Meg, would you go with the same 11?
Yeah, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
I agree. And Emmy, I know you've already said that you would stick with the same 11. So if you're going out with that team, obviously we've already mentioned the main threat from Southampton is Danny Ings. What is your score predictions for this one? Do you think that we're going to concede with someone like Ings up front? Or Meg, are you expecting another clean sheet? And I'll let you start, Meg. What is your score prediction?
I'm actually going to go for a 2-1. I do think we will concede. I think Southampton seem to have this high press nailed. And I think they're quite well drilled at it. And I think they go at the right time. And I do think that we will concede. But I will go for a 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. I'm going to ask you, Emma, what is your prediction? And guys in the chat, please let me know what your prediction is. I will put it up on the screen as well. Let's compare. Doug's gone with a 3-1, if that helps you out, Emma.
I literally just seen my sister and Doug, but I was thinking 3-1. I'm same as Meg. I do think we will concede. Danny Ings is a massive threat to us. So I don't think that like we can contain him. I know Maguire can contain him, but I just think we will concede. But I'm going with 3-1.
3-1. And then Nicole, what is your prediction? I love how we're all going for United wins, by the way.
United win again, and 3 seems to be a magic number right now, doesn't it?
That's for Chelsea.
Hey. Like you were saying, Ings is like in the running for the golden boot. So if there is a game we're going to concede, this is it. So I'm gonna stick with 3 because I really like that number right now. I'm gonna go 3-1 United.
Love that. George just made me laugh at that comment. Harry Maguire will be emptying his pockets on Monday night to let Ings out. I'm hoping for that. I'm finding it hard to look past the 3-1 prediction, to be honest with you. I think that's the one that I'm swaying towards. I agree as well with obviously Ings being a major threat. Also, is it Vestergaard as well? He's quite tall. From set pieces, I think he'll be a handful. But yeah, I'm going to go with a 3-1 win. 3-1 win. I'm hoping
6-0.
I think she's going to be like, Morgan's gone for 6-0.
I hope you're right.
We need to get some of that.
Very conservative, that.
You know what? But I hope, Gab, I hope you get it right above all of us because I would love to see a 6-0. But I just can't sort of see that. But like I say, I hope you're right. I'll try to talk a bit about Rashford before we do close the show off as well. He got a bit of stick the other day. I got stick for talking about Rashford on my United fan cam, and I don't know why because I was specifically asked about him. But apparently, I love Rashford, so I'm going to talk about him again. But Marcus Rashford, for me, I thought he did all right the other night. It was unlucky, obviously, not to score. But I know there was one chance where it was disallowed, and I think that Rashford's getting into positions. I think his game seems to be changing a little bit. I think he completes a lot of passes now, as opposed to before he'd try and run past the man. He seems to have adapted his game a little bit. He's a very different player to Mason Greenwood in my eyes because Greenwood likes to drift off the wing. He comes into the little pockets, and that's where he likes to turn and get his shots away. Rashford and Shaw on that left-hand side, we've seen Shaw quite a few times the other day. They've obviously been working on the overlaps because that happens so many times. Yeah. But Rashford, should we be worried about his form, do you think, ladies? And I'll start with you, Nicole. I mean, you know my opinion. I don't think it should be. Nicole, what's your take on it?
Oh, my head won't stop shaking. No. Like we've had this before, like where I wouldn't even call it a dip in form because I think since Project Restart, I think it's a lot to expect any player. Right, you need to be back at your best now. He's not at his worst. I think he was so unlucky in the last game. I think on like 1 or 2 occasions he should have scored. He could have scored. A different day he would have scored.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so harsh. And like on a personal level, I do love Rashford. I'm not going to apologise for it because aside from the pitch, what he's done for so many parents and families in this country. Don't abuse him. Like you might not think he's at his best right now, but show some respect because what he's done at his age is worth every bit of accolade that he's getting. And I think either coming up to the end of this season and the start of next season, we'll start seeing him getting them finishes. We'll start seeing him be a bit more clinical and get a few goals. And the more he does, the more we'll see him come out. But I don't think it was his worst game. I don't really understand the backlash, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about him and I said I felt that it was his best game since the lockdown. And a lot of people forget that Rashford was injured even before lockdown, so he's been out more than the average player. He's been out a lot longer than the average player.
And prior to that, he was carrying United for a long time. What I had a back injury?
He was in the form of his life. I hope he bangs another free kick in at the weekend against Chelsea and shuts a lot of people up, to be honest. But I think he needs a goal from open play, and I think it'll do wonders for his confidence. I just seem like Rashford is getting into the right areas and just not clicking for him at the moment. And I do think he's genuinely a confidence player. And I think you can see the other players around him trying to lift him, giving him the ball. Bruno giving him the penalty because they can see he's a confidence player. And when he gets a goal in open play, I just think that he will find his feet again. And I'm not too worried about his form at the moment. But Emma, what's your take on Rashford?
Like you said, I think that was his best game since we come back. I think, in front of goal, I think at the moment he does kind of rush it, and he kind of it doesn't fit well for him. It doesn't, when he shoots, he kind of rushes it, and it just doesn't hit the target as such. But like you say, I think he does need a goal in open play to build his confidence. But like as well, you mentioned Shaw and him down the wing. Like they are working really well together. You're seeing Shaw get up as well a lot further, and they're working nicely together. So I don't understand where it's all coming from. Rashford's had a bad game because I don't think he did. I think he's just pulling the strings a bit down that wing and just making things happen, really.
Yeah, I think it's a case for Rashford where he may be trying to force it a little bit. He's flashing at some chances where before it would fly into the top corner. And like I say, it's confidence. It's him trying to get back into it. And I'm just hoping that one of them falls into the top corner. Or even if he has a goal in off his arse, I don't really care how it goes in, but I think a goal in open play will lift his confidence. I really do, Meg. Do you believe that as well, that he's a confidence player?
I do. I do have a slight different view to the three of you.
Go on then.
And that's it's only because I feel like Greenwood on the other side mixes it up a little bit more than Rashford does on his
different
side.
Players, aren't they?
They are, but I would like to perhaps see Rashford almost implement some of that into his game as well. Rashford is very much a touchline player. He wants to be out on the wing to drive or to then cut back in. And I think Luke Shaw also quite likes to go round, like he wants to go on the overlap, which is fine because it has been working. We do see, my husband will vouch for this because we always laugh that Rashford always plays the line ball, even though he's on the left-hand side of the pitch, with the inside of his right foot. He never plays it he never opens his body and plays it down the wing with his left foot. He always goes with his right foot. And so Luke Shaw's getting to the byline. I think sometimes I'd like to see Rashford come in a little bit and have it more in from the touchline rather than just hogging the touchline. So I don't know. I would like to see him mix up a little bit. I absolutely love Rashford. So I'm not criticising him, but I would just like to see him switch it up to see if he gets a little bit more joy. That's all I'd like to say because I think he can get more joy.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I say, it's like he's transformed his game where before you to Rashford direct, running on the outside, taking someone on, cutting inside, cutting outside. Whereas at the minute he seems to be playing that safe little pass. He's getting the ball, he's passing it inside. He did the occasional one down the line to Luke Shaw, but he's not taking much risks, and that's what strikes me. It reminds me a bit of the Mourinho days where players were frightened to take a risk, and it's like a low on confidence thing. I'm not saying Ollie is affecting his confidence. I just think Rashford, from being out for such a long time and coming back into a team that beforehand, like you said, Nicole, the team were relying on Rashford. Whereas now, obviously, Bruno's in town, Pogba's back in town, Martial's back in town. Rashford isn't the main guy at the moment as well. But I do fully believe that he'll get a goal, and I think he'll come back into his stride. I genuinely do think that. But I think Meg's right saying he needs to vary it up a bit more. He needs to take some more risks in his play. I think he's playing a bit too safe, and that isn't the Rashford that we all know.
I think we'll see him. I think we'll see him back easily. Like when I say back, I mean like at the level that he was. The level that he is now, I'm still saying he starts. So I'm not saying that he's playing, bad or anything like that. I just feel like perhaps he could just mix it up and see if he gets more joy, and then kick on.
I wouldn't say he's playing bad. I agree with you. I wouldn't say he's playing bad. It's just that obviously our expectations there for Rashford are high because of what he's done. We know what he's capable of. I don't think he's playing bad. I just think when you compare him to Martial, who's playing so well at the moment, and Greenwood, we've already mentioned how well he's doing. Rashford out the three is the weaker one, isn't he? And we know that actually Rashford, still got a few gears to go up. And that's all it is. It's just the expectations are a bit higher because we know what he's capable of. I don't think it's a case where we're slating him. I'm definitely not slating him. It's just a case where just give him time and it'll click. He's got the ability to do that. He's got the talent, and I'm pretty sure that he'll fall flat on his feet again, not on his face. But yeah, I'm excited for Southampton. But this is a game where I think I'm feeling more nervous for this game than I have done for a game in a while. And I don't know if you girls are with me on that. Nicole, you're nodding your head. I've got a little niggling feeling and I don't like it.
I haven't got a feeling that we're going to get beat. I've just got a feeling like, don't get too cocky now. I've just got that little voice in the back of my head going, just hold your horses and let's just wait. I can't wait to watch it. But I know I haven't got a gut feeling that we're going to lose. I'm not putting that into the world. I've just got this like niggle of like, it's not going to be as easy as a few of the other fixtures. I don't think.
That's the way I feel, to be honest with you. Look, Southampton are always a bit of a dodgy team anyway, aren't they? But I think in this current moment in time when we're flying as well, it's just a bit of a dodgy territory. But Alex just said happy birthday to Luke Shaw. Yeah, of course, happy birthday to Luke Shaw. And he talks about the agendas against him. We already know that certain people have got agendas against Luke Shaw. If you like Marmite, you either love him or you hate him. I think Luke Shaw's been playing well. I'm loving the overlapping he's doing. I think that's something that Ollie's obviously is coaching and the team are coaching him on. And I'm hoping that we see more of that. But yeah, I think the Luke Shaw.
I'm Luke Shaw. Isn't it 17 games unbeaten, and Luke Shaw's the only one that's played all of them? Or only Luke Shaw's the only one who started all of them.
Really?
Doug, help me out.
Doug.
But I'm pretty sure it's the 17 games unbeaten. Luke Shaw's the only one that started all of them. So
yeah.
I'm not saying it's all Luke Shaw down to him, but he's got to have some part in it.
Yeah.
I think Luke Shaw's been playing well. We've already said that we want more from him going forwards, and I think with this overlapping that he's been doing the last few games, I think he is starting to slowly do that. And I think he credit where it's due, like we've already said with every other player, like he's been playing well. And as much as people hate to admit that, because maybe he has been a bit average for a period of time, but when a player's playing well, surely they deserve big enough. And I think Luke Shaw is that player right now. I think he's doing well. He's been consistently very good for us. Abul, thank you so much for the super chat. Ladies, what's your favourite Manchester United goal this season? I really liked Martial's against Watford. That little drag back that he did. I love that, but I'm gonna have to go with the one that got goal of the month, the Bruno goal against Brighton. For me, it took me back to Fergie days and the counter attacks that we used to see. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that one. Emma, what's your favourite goal this season?
Martial's recent one against Bournemouth. That was just.
It was good.
It was something else, and especially I think he needed that as well, did he? The smiling after just showed it all.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a great goal. Nicole, what's yours?
I'm with you. Don't get me wrong, I love Martial's goal, but I'll have to go with Bruno because I don't know if I've told you, I probably said it about 100 times, but after that, I was just sitting there like I was broken, just going, what a goal, what a goal. I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt I'd been transported back in time before any of this weird year happened, and I was all for it.
We've actually been quite lucky to pick out of what goals we've had this season, because there's been quite a fair few, isn't there? So we're quite lucky.
Yeah. Martial has scored a lot of the good ones. Obviously, Rashford free kick against Chelsea has to be up there.
I was literally going to say, mine's the Rashford free kick. And I've literally, just seen him on my phone because I was like, I can't remember if that's this season because I just feel like it's so long ago that I was like, was it this season? But I've just
forget about him.
But yeah, I made the Rashford free kick.
It was special. That free kick was special.
I literally sat there, I was like, it went in. I was like, oh my gosh, it's gone in.
Yeah, that was a mad goal. Absolute mad goal. Andrew agrees with me. The little chip that Martial did against Watford when he did the little drag back and he just sold everybody and did a little chip. That was quality for me. But yeah, I think team goal, you'd have to go with the Bruno one. But in terms of individual brilliance, that Rashford free kick, it's hard to top that, isn't it? It was just a worldie of a goal. But ladies, I want to say a massive thank you, as always, for coming on to the Ladies in Red show. Absolutely love doing these. And obviously a different time. Let us know what you think about this time on a Sunday evening. Seems to be an easier time for everybody to be available, apart from Zara, but she'll be back. But yeah, Nicole, tell everybody where they can find you.
Wait, there I am. On Twitter and Instagram, and all my writings on there as well.
Yeah, so go and obviously follow Nicole on Insta and on Twitter as well. Emma, if you could just let people know where they can find you.
I'm on YouTube, That United Family, and I'm on Twitter, XMRX88.
Love that, thank you. I will put all these in the description as well, guys, just to help you out. And then Meg, if you could just share your socials out.
I am on Twitter here, at Meg Wilts. You can find me on there. And I will be on a hairdryer treatment. Myself and Soph have been discussing a new little show that I might be dropping very soon. So head to my Twitter, keep your eyes peeled. You might see some news. Who knows? Don't know when I'm not sure when I'm going to drop it. Just might do soon.
Love that.
Might do a mad one.
Yeah. Carl's plugged in That United Family. Go and make sure you subscribe to their channel as well. Fantastic content. And the same for John there, United Way. Make sure you go and subscribe to his channel as well. And then Doug should be in there somewhere. Make sure you go and subscribe to Doug's channel as well. Always appreciate the support in the chat. And United Way is spot on, guys. If you haven't already, please do hit that like button. If you are brand new, obviously hit the subscribe button as well. We'd appreciate it. And of course, share the video so others can join in as well. But I've enjoyed doing this one. I've enjoyed it, and hopefully United get that win tomorrow as well. Fingers crossed on that one.
Make it 18.
Yes, let's make it 18. And let's just, like we say, let's just take care of our business, and then everything will become easier, won't it? Let's not rely on other people. But let's hope Bournemouth get something right now against Leicester. Let's hope that they can pinch them for us. But have a lovely evening, you girls. Have a lovely evening, everyone in the chat as well. Take care, keep smiling, and we'll be back soon.